Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of our Heavenly Minded Homemaker. I am Heidi and welcome. I'm going to do today's video cozied up by the fireplace because it is freezing and I was able to get my amazing husband to build me a fire so I can sit here and enjoy while I share with you guys the top things our family uses to battle cold and flu seasons. So hold on just a second, let me show you what we do. So as I've shared with you guys already before, our family really strives to focus on things that are natural and frugal and simple in everything that we do, but especially in the way that we take care of our health and our bodies. So these are the things that our family uses, and this is from us adults all the way down to the little kids. And these things really worked well for us. This has definitely been a journey that we've been on for a while with finding things that work well to really be frugal, but also take care of the problem, because the last thing we want to do is end up spending a bunch of money on a bunch of stuff that doesn't work anyways. I think it definitely is a little bit of trial and error as far as your family and figuring out what's best, but definitely this time of year, this topic is pretty much on the forefront of all of our minds as we are battling the cold and flu season that kind of just comes with the territory. All of these things that I have here are really easy. I'll have some additional links down in the description box for you guys as far as different recipes and things like that that we use. But we have found, to start off, elderberry syrup. Elderberry syrup is incredibly easy to make. We prefer a homemade version to a store-bought like 10 times over. The ones that we've gotten in the store, honestly, we can hardly handle them. They are just really gross. So I make elderberry syrup, and I usually will just make a full container like this, and it really lasts our family like all season long. Elderberry syrup, it's not a thick syrup. It's almost more of like a juice that you can see in here, how easily it moves around. But I get dried elderberries off of Amazon. I keep a container in my pantry, and then once or twice a season, I'll go ahead and whip up a batch here. It is just elderberry, some honey, some raw local honey with a few different spices in it. This time that I made this one right here, I made in a crock pot. I had never done it in a crock pot before. You make it just regular on the stove. You can make it in a crock pot and you just kind of let it go throughout the evening, or I think I let it go all night. It's been a little while, so I'm trying to remember. I think I let it go all night long. Or you can make it in an Instant Pot. I think the Instant Pot recipe is my favorite because I like the science behind how it preserves the nutrients in the elderberries. But regardless of whatever way you make it, elderberry syrup is our first go-to when it comes to fighting the cold and flu season. So I make this. I give the kids a teaspoonful every day as a preventative measure. My husband and I take a tablespoon each day. And then if ever we are coming up and somebody is getting something and not feeling so good, then we just up the dose. So like right now, our 2-year-old isn't feeling awesome. And so I just give her a spoonful throughout the day, periodically, every hour or so, until I start noticing that she's feeling better. So elderberry is fantastic. You can mix it in with your tea. You can just drink it by itself. There's really no end to the possibilities here, but making a thing of elderberry syrup is super easy, super effective, and very frugal as well. So highly recommend that if you are looking for some things to add into your normal routine to help prevent these different things, making up a batch of elderberry syrup, definitely a must. So elderberry syrup is our first go-to. My next go-to would be our apple cider vinegar shots. So getting an organic apple cider vinegar, Bragg's is the brand that we usually use. You just want to make sure that it states that it has the mother. We're not going to get into a whole breakdown of apple cider vinegar, but that's what you need. That is the ingredient that you need in the vinegar that really gets in and does this work to boost your immune system. Apple cider vinegar tastes disgusting and smells quite awful as well. So what we do is I take a little, kind of like shot glass, but I take a little medicine cup like we have, and I put a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, excuse me guys, a tablespoon of organic cranberry juice, which really cancels out the taste of the apple cider vinegar. And then I fill up the rest of the medicine cup with organic apple juice. And we do those little shots. Drink them up. You can do it once a day as a preventative, or if you're not feeling well, do it every hour or so. Just get all of that into your system, and that will really boost your immune system. There are so many benefits to apple cider vinegar. Finding ways to mix that into your daily routine, honestly, year-round, is a great idea. And our kids even will take this. The smell is not amazing, but I feel like after the first couple days of doing it, you really get used to it, and it is not that big of a deal after a while. And the health impact is just huge when it comes to doing these apple cider vinegar shots. I also can recommend that we've used this apple cider vinegar fire cider. Apple cider vinegar tonic. It's got 16 shots per bottle, and I will link all these down below. This has the turmeric, raw honey, pepper, and ginger in with the apple cider vinegar. So again, something that's already kind of pre-put together. If you wanted to purchase something like that, you could do some fire cider as well. All right, so elderberry syrup, apple cider vinegar shots. The next thing that I use and I pull out in my arsenal against cold and flu season would be zinc. Taking some zinc. If you use products like Zicam or something like that, the active ingredient, the thing that is working and is helping you get over these symptoms as quickly as possible, is zinc. And so this is a great natural alternative. I go ahead and just mix in taking a zinc tablet with my daily vitamin regimen during the cold and flu season. I don't always use it throughout the rest of the year when it's not something I'm really concerned with. Most of us are lacking many essential vitamins and minerals that our bodies really do need. So zinc is one that most of us are deficient in, quite honestly anyways, but especially if your body is under attack and not feeling well, zinc is a great one that you can really flood your system with to help your system fight back against whatever it is that is causing the cold or flu-like symptoms that you are dealing with. So adding in some zinc. I also quite often will get the Walmart brand Zicam generic tablets. And have those. They're easy to throw in my purse and they're chewable. So if something happens and I'm not feeling well, I can just kind of munch on those every couple hours until I start feeling my system bouncing back. So zinc is a great one. Our kids will take this as well during the cold and flu season. Which brings us to just other vitamins in general. They say, just like an ACE bandage, right, is something we go to when we have a sprain or some kind of injury. Your ACE vitamins are also right up this alley when you are dealing with the cold and flu season. So bringing in some vitamin A, vitamin C, and of course vitamin E are very big in the cold and flu season. So I will take and up our whole family's dosages of these vitamins during this time. Again, just because most of us, we are not getting adequate amounts of vitamins and minerals throughout our diet. Due to many different circumstances, but because we're not getting those, sometimes you just need to give your body a little something extra to help fill yourself with these nutrients. Researching foods that are rich in these vitamins is another great way to do this if you don't want to be taking supplements. Whatever way you do it, fill yourself with some more A, C, and E, because all of these are very beneficial for many different things, but especially in boosting your immune system and giving your body what it needs to help fight back against all of these nasty germs and colds that just flourish during this time of year. And I will also add, although the ACE is kind of the one that everybody goes to and adds here, vitamin D3 is also very beneficial. There have been studies done that show that a high dose of D3 each day is far more effective than the flu shot. We do not do the flu shot. I am very anti-flu shot. That's, again, a whole conversation for another day. But honestly, these are the natural things and remedies that our family focuses on, and we have kept ourselves incredibly healthy throughout all of the years, regardless of all of the outbreaks and different things that we've come in contact with. So I add D3 into my mix there with the A, C, and E vitamins. The other thing that I recommend that I didn't pull out here, but is using a humidifier. Usually during the winter months, humidity is very low in all of our homes, and that really just gives a great way for bacteria to flourish and to move. And so having that humidifier can be a great way to help put a little extra humidity back in your air. It helps take care of some of the germs that might be floating around. And if you have any sniffles or things like that, my girls, if they get little coughs or anything like that, humidifiers going on in their room, and sleeping even just a couple nights with a humidifier in their room will clear it up right away. And then we usually will use something like this all natural chest rub to put on them, again, just with natural, this has got sunflower and coconut oil, sunflower wax, castor oil, vitamin E, and different essential oils to help kind of open up those pathways and help them to breathe a little bit easier. So a humidifier should definitely be in your regimen too when you are trying to fight off all of the nasty stuff that loves to rear its ugly head this time of year. My next point would be fresh air. It is difficult depending on the cold and all of that, but a lot of times the air inside our home is more toxic than the stuff that's outside, because it comes in based on just, being closed up all the time, the germs that are floating around, different artificial cleaners and sprays and stuff you could be using. It really does make for some toxic air inside of the home. So I don't think we always stop to think about that, but even during the winter months, as often as you can, open up the windows, open up the doors, let a little fresh air in. It really does make a difference. Even on colder days too. Obviously not if you're super ill, but even on colder days, still getting outdoor time and fresh air, going for a walk, letting the kids bundle up and play for a few minutes, all of those things are really super important in helping to keep your immune system strong and healthy, ready to fight back against all of the nasty stuff that the winter season has to offer. I will take any time that I can get, especially in the winter. If the temperature is even somewhat decent and the sun is shining, I will open up the windows, even if it's just for an hour, to try to let some fresh air come through the house. Make sure to open up windows on both sides, get some cross ventilation, and let that move through and really help clear out your air that you have in the house. Wintertime, when everything is closed up, it becomes very stale. Again, it's just creating an environment where any little thing can really flourish in. So we want our home to be not a comfy place for all of the nasty little germs and things. So open up the windows, let some fresh air in, and that makes a huge difference. And that brings me to my last point of natural cleaners. When we are using all of the antibacterial sprays and hand sanitizers and soaps and all of the things, it seems great in theory, but remember, it's wiping away all of the bacteria. So you no longer have the good bacteria that your system needs, so that way it can be strong and fight back against the bad bacteria. I shared, I believe in last week's Homemaker video, just the natural home cleaners that I use. And I think definitely, we usually, we're very afraid. We've been taught to be very afraid of bacteria and germs, and so we just want to wipe out everything. Well, no, that's not accurate. We want to wipe out and keep away from all of the bad stuff, but not taking away the good bacteria and the things that our bodies really, really need. And so kind of making some changes in that, right, as far as the cleaners that you're using. Sometimes there are instances that maybe you need something like that, but for the most part, things like just some vinegar, some hydrogen peroxide, essential oils, e-cloths, things of that nature will take care of everything you need just fine. And that way you can build up some good bacteria in your home that helps to build your and your children's immune systems, because we need these things, guys. If we're going to fight back against this stuff, we've got to get our immune systems built back up. And unfortunately, our modern way of doing things and our diet and the products that we use really don't create a good environment for that. So these are my, 6? Is that what I said? 1, 2, 3, yep. These are my 6 top go-to things as far as keeping our immune systems and our bodies healthy throughout the cold and flu season. I also shared in our live this past Saturday, but it's so hard because honestly, you could do this forever and ever and ever. There are cool tricks, like if you feel the flu coming on, you can take an onion and slice it in half, put those halves on the bottoms of your feet, put socks over it, and sleep with the onions on your feet. It sounds crazy, I get it, but guess what? It works. You can take an onion or a potato, slice it in half, and leave it in a bowl out in a room, and it will collect the bacteria in the air and help to get rid of that. To have it sitting by the nightstand where you sleep to help absorb, again, all of those bacteria and things in the air is a great way to clear out some of these things. Potatoes, you can do a lot of the same stuff with as well. There are endless different recipes and tips and tricks of things that you can do to help keep your body healthy. Remember, God gave us exactly what we need here with His creation to keep ourselves healthy. And so I always try to make sure that our first line of defense is to go to the things that God created and use those to help improve our health. Sometimes we need a little something more, and I am thankful for the advances in modern medicine that He has given us, but my first line of defense is always going for those things. Looking at the foods you're eating. If you're getting sick frequently, it's probably because your body is lacking many different things. Start nourishing yourself with God's good food, with His nutrients, the things He created. Get rid of all of the processed foods and all of the junk that you're filling yourself with. Help to create a strong and healthy body that can fight back against these things that we just run into in the normal world, right? Going to work, going to the store, going to school, anything like that, you're going to run into different things. But the more and more that you can build up your health, you can have a healthy home, and you can really focus on these things will make a huge impact during the cold and flu season and all year round. So these were my things. Hopefully that helped. I'd love to hear what you guys go to during the cold and flu season, so make sure to leave a comment down below with those. We are off of vlogging this week because we do a 4-week on, 1-week off homeschool schedule, so we're taking the week off, dealing with some family stuff and stuff for our church. So we will be probably a little bit quiet over here this week, but we hope you guys will come and join us on Saturday at noon Eastern time. We do a YouTube Live, a time to just chit chat and catch up with everyone. And then of course, tons of stuff going on in our church group. We're doing a 21-day Bible reading challenge right now, which has been fantastic. So come and join us over there if you haven't already. Everything is linked down below in the description box. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.